Hello everyone, Smith52 here, and today we have Black Ops 4 Beta. It just released today, and I'll be going through the differences between this game, or Black Ops 4, versus the earlier series like Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, and any other previous Call of Duties. And I'll also be going through the pros and cons that I think are in this game and how they affect this game and what makes it different. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So for the differences in Black Ops 4 compared to other Call of Duty games, the main one is the health. You have a health bar, as you can see in the bottom left hand corner, and in order to gain health after being injured, you have to actually press a button with L2 to inject health back into you. Mind you, after a gunfight, it takes a couple seconds for your health to regenerate to max, which is kind of the equivalent to just automatically healing in every other previous Call of Duty, but that's the difference. Next, we have the tactical equipment. So each specialist has a different tactical equipment that you can use. So for example, the recon I'm using has a little kind of portable UAV that he shoots out, and it does a little circle and pings on the map, but then it takes a while for that to recharge again. Even if you do respawn, it doesn't come back right away, say as like a flashbang or something. That would come back right away after a spawn. This doesn't, so that's one of the main differences. The next, or the last difference that I pointed out, or I thought was a big difference, is the scoreboard. The scoreboard, I do not like how they did the scoreboard in this beta. It's using points, and you can't see the kills and deaths of your teammate, or teammates, and of yourselves during the game. You can see it afterwards when you're in the lobby, but it's just not very obvious, but I'm sure they'll change that in the full release in October. And those are the main differences that I thought were critical. So we'll move on to the cons. So for the cons, they are there. First con, I think, is the main one, would be the health system. So you all saw how I talked about how there's a health bar and how you have to inject health into you, and it still takes a while to regenerate after a gunfight. I just don't know why it's there. It doesn't make sense. Like, it's not like in Battlefield when you have a specific person who is a medic who can heal other people. You can just heal yourselves. Like, what? That happened anyways in previous Call of Duties, and it basically just takes up an extra trigger for some reason. The next con, oh yeah, before I said anything else, how are we supposed to use the healing system in hardcore mode? How would it affect it? Would it only last once, so you can only use it once and it doesn't regenerate in hardcore? So there's going to be questions about that, but we'll see when the full game releases. The next con is the specialists and their tactical gear. Tactical gear is way different from any other Call of Duty out there, besides the specialist special thing like night vision or, you know, purifier and stuff like that. We're used to using tacticals and lethals, so flashbangs, concussions, and then grenades, Semtex, C4, all that. We don't have that anymore. We only have a specific, or a variety of specific tacticals that you can use depending on what specialist you're using. So on mine, I'm using the portable UAV, which he shoots out and it then recharges over time. There's another one that is kind of like a flashbang, but then it recharges over time, so it's not like a flashbang. It's just confusing, and I don't like it personally. I like the other style a lot better, but it's good to see something different, obviously. The third con is the scoreboard. Like I said, the point system, don't like it, but I'm sure it will change. And the last con would be just the way the menu works and how you change classes and the way you spawn. Like, look, I just fell off a cliff right here. The map was kind of weird, but it made sense. They made a hole in the corner so you can't camp. Just a very odd map design, but you know, I love Treyarch's maps. They do a good job. But like navigating the menu is really difficult, but then again it's a beta, so it's gonna be way different when the full game releases, but we'll just have to wait and see in October. And that is all for the cons in my opinion. Lastly, we have the pros. One of the main pros is the gameplay. It's fluent, it feels like other Treyarch games like Black Ops 1 and 2, and pretty much like 3 without boost system. It feels different but not too different, and the boots on ground brings the game's pace down, but not like too down where it's like super slow. The kill streaks are good, they feel like old kill streaks again. You got the choppers, the hailstorm, you know, all the good stuff from like Black Ops 1 and 2. So it's good classic kill streaks, like our favorites. And then lastly, we have the maps. Treyarch always does a good job on the maps with their 3-part way layout, and the boots on the ground really makes it pop. It really pulls out the best out of the map, and they always do a good job at the design and the build of it, and it's what Treyarch does best. Their maps are probably the best part. And yeah, that's all the pros, and that is all that I have for today's video of reviewing the Black Ops 4 beta's pros and cons. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more episodes in the future. Please leave a like and consider subscribing for more content such as this. Have a good day.